Mate, this mic looks like you.
Mate, stop. Yeah, big head on it.
Do you know, the only bit of research I did for this was to quickly see when you two last played against each other.
I don't think have we played against each other?
Once.
Yeah, he lost, obviously.
No, we didn't.
Sunwolves.
Can I tell you what happened?
What happened?
Do you want to guess?
It was
It was eventful for you.
So we won, is all I'm saying. That's all. That's yeah.
started.
So you were winning. It was when you were at Rebels.
Yeah.
They were winning. You got subbed off. You ended up scoring and getting a yellow card.
Typical. You're no good to me. You just this.
So we
this
won.
is. No, you didn't.
You won. Bingo. He didn't score.
Yeah, so I have beaten you.
No.
We won the game,
It was like the only.
and it's the game I know I got knocked out, but we beat you. I actually didn't get knocked
Who
out.
scored?
How many tries have you scored?
Like 3.
Yeah,
probably.
good on you.
Hey, one of them was against your team.
I was knocked out. If I was out, I can guarantee if I was out in the field, you wouldn't have scored. Guarantee, bro.
It's now your job to set him up tomorrow.
Oh yeah, setting him up to get his
hospital,
fucking
setting
ribs
me up for a
fucking.
hospital pass.
The amount of carry
Which
on.
is too competitive,
The amount of
if you know what I mean. So
amount
even
of.
if it's like a metre out, and who's going to win that, but he would still say that he was going to win.
I don't think anyone from Northampton is going to watch this, right? But if we do that line-out move,
Oh, I'm dead. He's done that on purpose. He's literally said all the years of torment and bullying. I'm putting in a line-out move to just fucking break your ribs.
well, guys, welcome back to All Things Rugby. As you can see, I have some guests. I have Mr. Will Genia and Mr. Ed Quirk, and we are currently
So who's
in
Mr. Ed? Who
Quirky.
You can call me Quirky.
Quirky?
You call me
is it? Quirk?
My friends.
Ed Quirk?
It's Edward Charles Quirk, just for those out there on the passport.
What about Sanchez over here?
Yeah, you can introduce him as that, the Sanchez William Genia.
I'm not going to call him Willie, am I?
No,
You're right.
Because we're going passport names technically.
I'm here with Will Genia and I'm here with Ed Quirk, and we are in Colombo, Sri Lanka, as tomorrow these boys were playing for the Asian Pacific Lions against Northampton Saints. Boys, thank you very much for coming. How are we feeling?
Yeah, good man. Looking forward to it. It's actually been a really fun week. Really cool initiative to be able to get out here and spread the game to non-traditional strongholds, and yeah, cool to mix and mingle with some of the Northampton Saints boys as well. And we had the cricket, which is obviously a lot of fun, and yeah, looking forward to the game tomorrow.
Pretty much what Willie said. Again, like there's a place that we've never travelled, right? Rugby's across the globe and obviously has strongholds in a lot of countries, but it's been really interesting to see how much of a stronghold rugby has here. So again, for first timers, you learn new things, and it's one of the things that we've loved the most about being here, about the rich culture and the history. So hopefully we can add on it.
Can you tell me something about the rich culture and history, if you don't mind?
Again, obviously between that 12 to 16-year-old.
No, I mean the country.
The
not
country
the rugby.
itself.
Yeah.
Well, the original name was not Sri Lanka.
What
it was
was it?
Ceylon.
Interesting.
So we see it. That's what the traditional name was called. But over the years, it's been just transferred into Sri
What's
Lanka.
the language they speak here?
Shingalese, Singali, is it? That's what I've picked up. Again, like this Aussie accent of mine sometimes gets me into trouble, and he likes to be culturally appropriate most of the time. So excuse me.
You are Mr. Culture on this trip.
Wow, mate, that was incredible.
Ceylon Rugby Club still going strong.
Yep.
Yeah. So look, obviously we are here for your game tomorrow night, but as you said, you've done some community activations. Obviously, had a bunch of Sri Lankan kids running around, which was always good to see. Got to see some elephants as well, which was a highlight of a trip so far. Any other things that you boys have done so far that you can talk about on camera?
I think, to be honest, it's been nice. We were having a chat about this. It's been nice being on tour with, I guess, less stress and less pressure of, like a big game. Like, obviously, it is a big game for us and we're looking forward to it. But I was chatting to Quirky about it earlier. Like, for me, it's always been tunnel vision, focusing on the game, what's next, and moving forward. So you sort of sometimes don't take advantage of the moments that you have with your teammates to connect and enjoy touring and being away. So to have the opportunity to do it again, and in such a beautiful place like Sri Lanka, and do different things like go see the elephants, it's been an awesome experience for me to come back and experience it now, being, I guess, removed from the game professionally.
Exactly similar, like just mirroring what.
You're gonna have to answer the next one first.
Yeah, you keep
Exactly
saying
right.
exactly
Well,
the
he
same,
just keeps. He
mirroring.
just keeps. This is exactly what, like, when we played together, it was just me, and when us fellas had to pick up the scraps half the time. So, now just
Can
to
I hang on? Can I
just
just?
to mirror it.
What do you mean? Like that's.
Oh well, you addressed us both, and then he just took the
But then
reins.
you had,
so.
what scraps were you picking? I don't understand. I just for the viewers out there, when you say that it was me, and you had to pick up the scraps, be a
Oh,
bit more specific.
when we were obviously a bit younger, the younger guys. So when
You're not that much younger
when
though,
Willie
are
had
you?
the third parties and everything happening for him as an individual, we would do more of the community work and so forth. So that's what I mean by the scraps. He'd say, "Boys, can't get to this, and this. That's all on you guys." And we'd say, "What are you doing?" He's just like, "Just feed up because I've got a big game, I've got a big performance, and you guys probably coming off the bench, so you're not needed as much as me." And sweet. Sometimes you've got to take bullets for guys.
Your mate. Yeah.
It's more trauma dumping game.
Don't listen
Yeah,
to
exactly
mate.
right. Yeah, I got a habit of doing this
I
trauma
feel like
dumping
this,
stuff.
that's the other thing. This week's been like therapy for him because he's felt like he's been bullied for the entire time we played together. So he's just getting it out there.
We've spoken about it. Like being only redhead in my whole family, it's got to be released somewhere.
You're the only one.
I'm the only one.
He was
I'm
a
the only
cute little red kid back in the day.
You're right. So it kills me. So, look, getting back to putting the two and mirroring what Willie said, it's good because like you said, when you're younger, you're in it, you're fixated, you're doing your job. There's a lot of pressure, but for us older guys now, just to sort of step back, and it's been cool. Like we're obviously doing a little bit of coaching through this as well. It was thrown together quite quickly as well, so we've sort of had to just pull in, get some shape together, meet guys, understand guys, and seeing it through two lenses at the moment. Not just rocking up, being told what to do. We're sort of trying to structure it as much as we can. So we're getting to live both sides of it, which has been another experience that rugby's given. Even though we're at the back end, we've been able to get another experience out of this, which I think is a cool thing.
So let's rewind just a few years ago when you two were playing with each other at Queensland Reds. How was that? Was it 4 or 5 seasons together playing Super?
I'll let you go first, Ed.
Yeah, it was. It would have been 5 seasons. Obviously, Sanch was well ahead of me out of his time. He's the prodigy, the kid, and came through the system later on and played a lot of good years with Sanch, which was again getting to play with someone of his calibre, a young guy coming out of school. The thing is with like Willie and Quady and that we always say, like these older guys, but weren't that much older than us. We were 18 and 19 and you guys were 23, 24. So it wasn't technically the older guys. Just they were at the peak of their level, right? Within the Wallabies and that. So to us it was. So yeah, just some awesome years playing with some good guys.
Yeah, I think for me it was really cool having the young crop of players coming through because it was yourself, Gilly, we had Aiden Toll, like all you guys, special young talents coming through, and so to be able to be a part of, I guess in a small way, moulding you guys as individuals within the team in terms of understanding the game was pretty cool, and we get to have another experience like this at the back end of it all, and it's bringing back some good memories. So you can unload a bit. This is part of the therapy. Like, what do you got to say? I can see it's on the tip of your tongue, mate. Get it out there.
It was. We've revisited. There was just at one moment, I think you might have been present when we were having the conversation. There was one moment in a game that I cannot even remember that would have been a good 13 years ago.
Will remembers it very
And that's the thing. So you think about all the moments in his career of like good, bads, and otherwise. He seemed to have this one moment against the Stormers in Brisbane.
It sticks out like just.
It stands out. Just a
like
simple hole. Bad handling, misread, whatever you want to call it.
Well, so we play against the Stormers. We make a break up the right hand side of the field, and there's a bit of space, and the thing is flood into the channel, flood into the space, and I just see this cute little red thing just popping out of nowhere. This cute little red kid just running into space. I'm thinking he's going to get us over the gain line.
Yeah, right.
We're going to play and take advantage, and then he just drops a cold. And I just remember thinking to myself, you're not playing again.
No good to me. But again, a little bit of PTSD. And Willie sprayed me for a good
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks it would have been. But again, it just made me realise how professional and how locked in you got to be. And I don't think I ever made that mistake again until that next time when we played against each other when we beat them.
You didn't beat us. You scored a try and then got yellow carded.
I've been with you 4 or 5 days now, right? You've obviously played in 3 World Cups. You've won Super Rugby, scoring the winning try, right? Nominated for World Player of the Year, I think, that season as well.
Yep.
And you've not discussed any of that. And the only rugby thing you've mentioned is him dropping the ball against the Stormers.
Mate, I'll tell you, and this is the thing I can recall games and all that type of stuff, but man, if I'm being honest, the things that I enjoy the most looking back was the people.
Yep.
And like the banter and the conversations, and there's stuff that goes on in change rooms, not like in a disrespectful way, but how you how you communicate with each other and treat each other, and it comes from a place of affection and love that just wouldn't be tolerated anywhere else. Because the nature of high performance sport, you've got to be direct, and like we're having a laugh about it and calling it bullying, but that's high performance sport. It wasn't bullying because it comes from a place of wanting him to be the best that he can be, so that everyone else can obviously function, because you function only as well as your teammates do. So, but yeah, I just remember all the conversations, like those types of conversations in games, in changing rooms, and we're a little bit old school. Like we was more around the time of being really direct, and so I don't look back. I look back fondly at the games, but I look back and really enjoy those moments. The moments of tough conversations in games, direct conversations in training, and a lot of the banter. If I'm being honest.
We've obviously discussed like between us your travels and obviously your time playing sevens, how you got to travel the world with that. But then you both obviously ended up in Japan, coaching as well. I'm sure you did even more coaching when you were there as well. I'd like to know kind of what that was like when you first got over there. We mentioned how long ago you first went there, and then coming to a place like this that is, even more further behind. Probably when you first went over to Japan, and kind of what that was like to now looking at where Japan is now, and then anything that even a place like Sri Lanka can learn from as such.
Leading into that Sunwolves period, leaving the Reds, I think the unique thing was I just took it, not a gamble necessarily, but just there was an opportunity there to play something that was brand new. It was still within the Super Rugby dome, but it was the Japan team, and I was the first person to sign for that team. So I didn't have any inkling of what it was going to be like or how it was going to be run. I just knew it could be an opportunity here. I travelled there a couple of months before for a holiday, and saw the people, the food, how it went. Went and watched one of the top league games, as it was called at the time. And I sort of thought, we'll just give this a crack. And, linking back to your question too, it was really raw at the start. There was obviously a lot of hiccups. There was some big losses, some tough learnings. But again, we've discussed it over the last few days, just around what it has done. And you saw it trickle through into your teams as you were playing and coaching, what it did for the Japanese players, not necessarily the foreign guys, by exposing them to the world of rugby, not necessarily within Japan, because again, company's king, and they're under that level. And at that time, Japan was in the Asian Cup, so it was Korea, I think might have been the Philippines, a few, so countries like that. And then, so they were ripped out of that, and then we're playing the Bulls in Pretoria. We're heading down to Christchurch to play the Crusaders, over the ditch to play the Waratahs, or the Brumbies at the time, one of the strongest teams. So I think just experience was the key. Lots of failings, lots of learnings, and quick transition from there. And then that just came all the way through, and then obviously different coaches, Mark Hammett, Philo Tia, Jamie Joseph.
Give us a Jamie Joseph story.
Oh, Jamie Joseph has one of the best, for me, for a lot of us. Just during training, if you're going to make a mistake just during the drill, his motto was, "You're no good to me." And
I've said it to you on this interview.
Willie's, so he'd pull you out of a drill, he'd just say, "Quirky, you're no good to me, out." So you'd wait on the sideline.
You'll be hearing that on
next
you'll
guy
be
was
hearing that
in, and
tomorrow.
then when he was no good to anyone, he was out, and then you're back in.
What's the Waxy story? That one's a good one.
Oh, just a beautiful review with Waxy, Sam Wykes, again, larrikin of the game, great player, and full length of the field, support, try, end to end, crowds going nuts, and yeah, it was, mate, how good was that? That was amazing. And then the laptop shut, and he just said, and that's all he did. So,
You're no good to me.
And then, Wykesy just said, so I'm assuming I'm not in this week. And he said, correct. So some awesome review and lessons and takings from there. But yeah, just with the Japan stuff, it was phenomenal. Hardworking, very receptive culture to what it was. And leading into that 2019 World Cup, when they obviously made the semi-final against South Africa, you could just see it was the doings of what Super Rugby had become, and the guys getting that experience of playing the guys like Willie G, and then going to Africa and into Argentina, places they'd never been. It was university rugby, which was the pinnacle, and then it was into your system in the company. And then, again, there was foreigners there who were, again, best in the world, and so those guys weren't getting time. So these guys were given a chance, and the rest is history. And no, have dragged on. But then you look at somewhere like Sri Lanka, who's stripped back to the start again. We've spoken about high performance is the key word over here at the moment. You get a high performance base, you get some good people in and around it. Your Willie G's of the world who have been there, done it as player, coach, and then you build foundations, your talent ID, your everything, but you get the chance to strip it back and start fresh. So it would just be an opportunity. Would be interesting to see how it goes over the next few years.
Yeah, I think for me, like you touched on the stuff with the Super Rugby and the Japanese and how it influenced their competitions. We were talking about it earlier. Like I remember when we played against the Sunwolves, you didn't really take a lot of notice of any individual players because obviously we'd always do well and beat them. But then when I moved to Japan to play, um, some of those players who'd been playing with the Sunwolves were then playing for the League One teams. And I remember looking at him thinking, man, he's how good's he? He can really play. And the boys would say, oh, well, he played Sunwolves. And then so you start to connect the dots around, well, because they've had all that exposure, traveled the world, been outside of just company and university. They've been able to challenge themselves against top class players, and it's obviously had a positive impact on their game. But I think one of the biggest challenges I found in Japan was high performance culture. I think they've got such a beautiful culture as people, but they tend to bring that into the rugby environment, into the high performance environment. They've got a thing, kohai senpai, and it's very much about you respect your elders and you can't speak out against your elders, and they're right no matter what, even if they're wrong. And so I think in high performance culture, that's got to be left behind. It's about, and we touched on it a bit earlier, having direct, honest conversations about how we can get to where we want to get to. And I think that they probably struggle a little bit with that. And that's, I think, an area of growth if they get that right and it's filtered throughout the entire system in Japan around club rugby. Like they could, they could get even better, which is a scary thing because they're such hardworking people, committed people. Really, in terms of like just conditioning, like they can run all day, and they're coachable, they're adaptable, and so yeah, I think that's an area of growth for them. But then, and linking back to what you're saying here, it's the exact same thing. They've got an amazing schoolboy competition, but if they can find a way of transferring that into participation and interest in the level above, which in itself I don't know the answers, but that's if they can find a way to do that, they've got a nursery of kids coming through that already love the game.
I mean, obviously, I've said it to both of you. You're both kind of, whether you admit it or not, natural coaches on the pitch, right? And obviously, you've been doing it whilst you're in Japan with your partner in crime, Mr. QC,
Yeah.
as well. How was that as an experience as well? Because I can only imagine, as a fan, seeing you two link up.
Yeah.
I can just imagine you two telling everyone to fuck off and you two jumping in.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'm like, obviously we said about Marnie going there.
Yeah.
I can just imagine what that was like for the locals coming in and
Yeah.
seeing, 100 plus caps. Quade Cooper, one of the most talented players we've
Yeah.
seen, at their beck and call almost.
Yeah. Well, I think the challenge I found, the biggest challenge moving directly into coaching is you've got to let the ego go completely because it's not about you anymore. Like, as a player, you work to a point in terms of seniority in your environments to where there's a reverence about you. When you walk into a room, when you speak, when you play, when you step on the pitch, and there's a sense of ego as well. Whereas you really, and it hits you in the face when you stop playing and you move into coaching. They do not care. All they want from you is to be able to help them get better, create a framework and an environment for them to be the best versions of themselves. And that initially was a challenge because, I had a lot of people tell me moving into it, don't tell them this is how I would do it because you'll lose them straight away. And I had good conversations with guys like Eddie Jones and Robbie Deans, and they just things about understanding that the grass is for the players. It's not yours anymore. As a coach, it's you just have to facilitate the environments that allow them to be the best versions of themselves. But it was a great learning, and I think Quade will be an amazing coach. I really do. I'm so glad he's coaching. We used to have conversations while we were playing about him coaching, and he never wanted to do it. But he had a really good introduction to it. I think in his first year when we were there, he's the attack coach still now for Kintetsu, and I think he'll just be better and better with the more experience that he gets. But yeah, because he's got such a big personality as well, and he's got such a great understanding of the game. For him, it's probably, how can I help players see the game or see the pictures that I want to see, but through their lens. That's the biggest challenge because there's things he'll be able to see that, in my experience playing with him and having played with other players, that he just sees things that people can't, and understands things that people can't. And so his challenge is understand that people don't do that. How can I get you to understand the game how I want you to understand it, and play how I want you to play, but still see it from your lens?
Yeah. Last couple of bits, 'cause obviously you need a good night's rest before you take to the field tomorrow. Australia, 3 in a row. It's been a while since I've been able to say that to someone. Big game coming up against Argentina this weekend. Obviously, there's lots going on. Change of coach. Looks like things are slowly starting to settle. Kind of, especially kind of back row, so talented at the moment, and obviously half back. There's been, I can't even tell you how many partnerships now. Just kind of your opinion on where Aussie rugby is at the moment.
I think it's in a good spot. Yeah, again, a lot of chopping and changing over the last few years. You know, we obviously won't get into that, but I think there's just a good base. There's a good base of young guys at the moment, like you're saying in the back row. You got your Fraser McRice, you got your Harry Wilsons, your Valentinis, guys that are sort of cementing spots. I think Australia really needs to. Again, another thing we've spoken about this week is just hammer down how they want to play. With changing of coaching comes different ideas and ideologies and different things where met Les a few times and had a little bit to do with him. And again, he's a unique man and he's a good people manager and that. But we just need to nail down what we're doing and how we're doing it. Look, we want to see the Wallabies doing well. We're both Aussie kids, obviously. Willie's one of the greats. It's you don't want to see your country doing poorly. So I think they're in good stead and need to keep growing, keep moving forward as we move towards a home World Cup. We want a strong Australia rolling into that.
Yeah, right.
What he said.
Yeah, no, he's exactly right. I think the challenge is obviously transitioning from one coach to the other when so much of what Joe Schmidt how he wanted to play is very much embedded into their psyche because, from all reports, he's very direct around how he wants to play the game and drives it with an iron fist. Whereas I think Les is a bit more of a charismatic type of person where he draws you in with personality, I think, from what I've been, from the experiences I've had with him. But it's more a case of can we get aligned quickly? Because you don't have a lot of run-in time into a Rugby World Cup. And if we're being honest, that's the ultimate goal, right? Especially with the time frame that Les has been given to get into the coaching job. So it's how quickly they can get aligned and how quickly they can get on the same page and buy into how he wants to play. I think that's the key. You've got to really be able to buy in to the vision that he has for how the team wants to play. And if they can do that and get aligned, I've said it for a long time. I just think the athletes that we have, I think we've got some of the best athletes, if not the best athletes in the game. It's just a case of how aligned we are, how quickly we can get on the same page.
And then last one for me, when we started All Things Rugby 3 years ago, myself and Dave Ford, who's big boss, kind of looked at each other over a beer and was like, what does All Things Rugby mean to us? And we both said the same. Like, I was lucky enough to coach him when he was playing, and it's the beers and the banter with the boys. And I said to you good boys, yesterday on the bus for me was just a smile moment, right? Hearing these lads just smiling with each other, that Fijian laugh just is so infectious. So just to summarise in as however you want, to be honest, what does your experience with rugby and what does All Things Rugby kind of mean to you in that sense?
But I think it's amazing because I think rugby is such a traditional game in so many aspects outside of the game on the field itself. Like, we get stuck in our ways, and I think we can get in our way in terms of how we can continue to evolve, bring in new audiences, bring in new spectators, bringing a fresh sense of energy. And I think a lot of that has got to do with, if we're talking about content and the stuff that you guys do, just real authentic stuff. Not the filtered stuff, not the scripted stuff, and where you cut and edit things. It's just people having conversations about the game, behind the scenes footage of the game. And I think if you look at, like, in terms of an audience that you want to try to capture, rugby has a lot of the older market. Like, how can we capture the younger market? And it's, if you look around the world, it's streaming, it's YouTubing, it's, I don't know, what is Twitch a thing? Like, is that like, it's how, like, tapping into that market. And what is that market? It's raw, it's unfiltered, it's real. And I think, yeah, you guys are doing an amazing job, and I think you can definitely change the game in that sense because you can bring in a new audience, and we got to make rugby more entertaining. And the game, you can only do so much with the laws, but you can do stuff around it, which is what I think you guys are certainly at the forefront of.
Yeah, completely agree. I've always been a person over the player. sort of mentality, and then that's what people want to see, right? People, your Henry Pollocks, these guys that again have these big platforms and big profiles. You want to strip everything back, and you just want to see it all. You want to, you don't want it, like you said, the filtered stuff that everyone else wants you to see, and when you want to see it, people want to see it now and see it happening. And I think that's the shine of rugby, needs to be that top tier, clean market. But then you look at other markets and it's raw, it's now, I think you got to remember there was a time when you were a kid and you just loved footy and that's all you wanted to do and wanted to watch and wanted to play. And as you grow into an older person, other things come into the social aspect of having a beer and all of that, and you can strip it back. It's not that serious at the end of the day. And like you said, seeing the boys, and that's what we miss too, is the banter, the sitting around, the having a chat, just your day-to-day normal stuff that probably not your average person gets, right? Like sitting with 25 guys on a bus, chewing the fat, having laughs, hanging shit on each other, and it doesn't get any.
Well, mate, we're hanging
that.
shit on you.
Well, pretty much on the. I don't want to go into the trauma dump again, but yeah, exactly right.
Oh,
so, but that's how it's good, and like Willie said, it's really awesome to see the kind of platforms that you guys build for people to access what they really want.
Mate. So you mentioned Henry Pollock there. So do you want to tell the audience? So after we hadn't met him. Like we're older, and mate, I'm telling you, like after we met him at the cricket, when we came back, we were playing cards in the room. And my man over here was giddy. Like he was like he couldn't believe. He's like, "Oi boys, Henry Pollock's actually a good bloke, eh? Like, mate, what room's he in?" He's like, "What room's he in?" Like, I'm a back row. I want to go ask him some questions about the game. I was like, "Mate, calm down." And he's like, "Do you reckon he'll have a beer with me after the game?" And I just felt a bit uncomfortable. I said, "Look, Quirky, I'm sure he's a really good bloke. Like, if you just
you mean Henry was in your room telling you that about me?
No, you
Or was the other way around? You sure? Because that's what he says.
Mate, I'm
I
just
heard
saying.
those
Like,
boys
but
are saying.
so how do you, are you excited about catching up with him tomorrow after the game for a beer or?
No comment.
Mate,
No.
Hey, Henry had some nice words to say about Will.
Yeah, I know, because I said, we were having the chat obviously during the cricket, and I said, "This is Willie," and he was like, what's he doing? Is this guy play or whatever? So it's just that generation, right? They're just so far removed. It's usually about them. It's what's in the mirror.
Well, if he's asking if I played, what did he ask you?
Well, he just said,
what are you like the carrying the
he
drinks?
just said, "Mate, like, is it hard to
You the gear man.
It's literally how hard
doing the laundry,
how
yeah?
hard is it to clean the boys' boots? Like just all the admin stuff. I said it's just intense.
Well, you've just been like cleaning people's boots since we played together anyway. Nothing's changed.
I'm
yeah,
a team man. I'm a team man. Willie's not, obviously.
He's cleaning his boots. He'll be cleaning my boots tomorrow like he's always done.
No comment again.
Well, right. So let's leave it on this then. One bit of advice you'd like to give the other person before you run out tomorrow. So what would you like? Platform's yours first, Quirky. What would you like to would you like to give Will before he faces a young 18-year-old whippersnapper 9?
It's probably not advice. It's just don't be you out there.
Yeah, no, fair.
That's the thing. We were talking about how enjoying this and that, and then literally today, Willie said, I can sort of already feel myself coming back within myself to where I was as like a 21-year-old halfback playing for the Wallabies. It's going to be intense. I'm going to get after it. So I don't really want him to be himself, because then it just comes back on me, through my experience. Again, trauma dumping, what we're saying, it just takes me all the way back to that Stormers game, getting like the 3 to 4 minute spray that led on for weeks. So don't be yourself. No,
That's actually hurtful.
Yeah, it was. Well, that's my whole week has been hurtful. So if I wouldn't give Willie G advice. I would just say, like we've spoken about, just enjoy it, because you never know when it's your last ride. Because he's been real community man lately, and he always has been. It's not saying that, playing games in PNG, local stuff down in Brisbane, awesome. So just take it for what it is and enjoy every part of it, without being too intense.
Yeah, no, that's actually, you've ended that well. That was beautiful. I was going to spray you, but I don't know if I should now. So what's the question? Say something nice about him.
He can't.
I can't.
Your advice for him going into tomorrow. That first scrum, when you've got the ball in your hands and he's about to pack down, what advice you going to give him in his ear?
You're no good to me.
Well, if you put me in that scenario, you're no good to me.
Yeah.
No. No, I think I just think we give each other a lot of stick, but he's a really good man, and I've actually really enjoyed reconnecting with him. Um, More than anything, having conversations and having yarns about stuff and family and life, and so let's just go out there and have a good time and enjoy it. Because, like you said, we were saying it actually. Like there'll come a day, like people always say, like, "Oh, are you hanging on? You're playing in these games, but or you're playing club footy, whatever." But it's like I'm still a kid that loves playing rugby. You know, like I'm I. I'm still a kid that loves playing rugby at heart, and so there'll come a day where physically I cannot play the game because I'm too old or my knees are bust or whatever. So I'm gonna play it for as long as I can because I love the game and I always will love it. And it's given me so much joy, not because of anything outside of the fact that I get to play rugby. And I tell people ask me all the time. You know, some people will say like you you play for because you get to play in big stadiums because you get to travel the world or these are the games you play for. It's like no, I just play because I love playing rugby and we get another opportunity to do it at a pretty high level in terms of the opposition we're playing. And yeah, man, let's just go and enjoy it.
Love that.
Well, thank you very much. It's been an absolute joyful week, and I've honestly just I didn't know what to expect as well. So to come and to be welcomed by you boys and everyone, and just have some fun and buzzing for tomorrow. Like I will be with a camera in hand, shouting my abuse to you both on the sideline as well.
You're no good to me.
You know, that's what you might need.
He's heard it all his career, so
I've
it's
heard,
fine.
I've heard everything, so nothing.
He's heard it all his career. We'll go.
Scratching the surface. So.
When he was a red little kid, he was copping it. So he's a cute little red thing now. He's a bit more mature. He's grown.
I've noticed Willie's he's doing he knows that I lose my cool on the field a little bit. A few red cards in my time. I know what he's doing. He's just twisting, winding.
You might be going a little bit red now, mate. I'll be honest.
They've taken their toll of it.
It's Colombo and it's 35 degrees. So I'm hanging on as it is.
And I have just heard, unfortunately, Campo is looking to get a flight out after the game, so he might not be joining us.
I tell you, post-match he'd be copping it if he stayed.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I think 20 Fijian guys and us having a couple of tubes. Probably jump on the plane, Campo.
Yeah, Campo, you better go.
Send him with a carver on his way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, on that Henry Pollock thing, mate. Like, can you get his contact details for him?
Ladies and gents, I will put the details of the game in the description below. I'll also be linking the boys' Instagram, so make sure you go and give them a follow. And again, once again, just thank you very much.
Appreciate you, brother, man.
Beautiful, love it. Fucking bully, man.